4, 3, 2, 1. Yo! You already know Wrestle Chat Champions in the building. Welcome back! Wrestle Chat Champions, we got a special guest with us today. You already know the music. You already know the hat. What you know about the stuff? Bagwell, let's get it! What's going on, sir? What's going on?
What's up? I'm so sexy.
How are you doing? How are you holding up? I know it's a lot of controversy. I don't know why it surrounds you so heavy, but what's going on, Buff, man? How you doing, man?
Dude, it's going good, bro. It just, what kills me, though, is just like you said, the controversy that's around me. The catch that people don't quite understand is it's been like that for me my whole life, bro.
I know.
I sort of think that this shit just happened to happen to me. Let me tell you what they call heat in Marietta, Georgia, okay? Jealousy. And wrestlers want to get together and call it heat. Let me tell you, motherfucker, it's fucking... You come to Spraberry High School, and you're the starting quarterback, and you're good looking, and you fucking... You're playing your Corvette, and you're playing Prince's Little Red Corvette song in your car. Now that's fucking heat. And it's 20 years later, I become a wrestler. Motherfuckers gonna talk about heat.
Man, I swear, man, it's stories from backstage NWO shit, dark matches. People wanted you to hold back and pull back a little bit because they felt like you gave too much. Like, yep. It's all kind of shit, man. Like, I don't understand.
Dude, let me tell you something. I was batting .750, Spraberry High School, my senior year. And I was dugout player of the week in the county 2 weeks in a row. I had 7 home runs, 13 RBIs, a couple stolen bases in 2 weeks. So both weeks in a row, I was Cobb County player of the week. And my parents owned a lumber yard. And the coach had asked them for lumber, 4 pieces of lumber for the seat and the back of the benches in 2 dugouts. And that was the reason why I played baseball. That's why I started. Not because I was batting .750, not because I was a superstar, because my parents gave them 4 pieces of lumber.
Hey, sometimes you got to get in how you fucking fit in.
Just follows me, bro. I don't know what it is.
Like I said, man, it's so much, man. Like we don't even have enough night to even cover all this shit. You know, like I'm just gonna try to get it as much as I fucking can before we.
Come on, baby.
Well, like you said, all of those who just joining us, what's up, Short? I see you in chat. Those who just joining us, you already know. I really ain't got to give no intro, but you see who it is. It's Buff Bagwell. He's buff. He's the stuff. And the what women can't get enough. You already know. Best goatee in the business, right?
He does get me.
You can't measure that shit off no better.
Flavor Saver in 4K, right? Hell yeah.
I have people come and touch. They go, "It is real." Hell yeah, real.
Damn. I tried to grow that shit, but it looked like I had alopecia. So
hey, listen to this. I'm gonna tell some up-to-date news, bro. I'm shaving my face at the accountability crib tomorrow because I got to play Mr. Rogers. And so I'm shaving my goatee and gonna put it on Twitter.
Oh wow. Shit!
Oh snap!
Tomorrow morning at 7:00 in the morning, I'm shaving my face on Twitter.
Don't do it, man. It's like
he's gonna be babyface buff. That's what it's gonna be.
Don't do it, man. Don't do it. It's like Samson. Don't do it.
I gotta play Mr. Rogers, bro.
He's got to play Mr. Rogers. He's got to do it.
Get you some Maybelline, right? And just mark it up so it's like
That by Sunday in Baltimore, bro.
that's real man shit. Your testosterone got to be at 4K just to get that shit. I already know. Well, Buff, welcome, man. Super hyped to get into the shit. Let me introduce you to the guys here, starting with Big Mike, aka Michael Long number 2. You know who he is. What's up, Big Mike, man? You
So, Big Mike?
What's going on? Glad to have you here, Buff. The stuff.
Let's fucking get
Ladies, get enough.
That's right. That's right.
And then we got, and this is my twin brother, aka Primetime, aka Wesley Pipes. What up, Dave D? What's going on, bro?
What's up, man? You know, this is like, it's kind of just insane to like have this guy's toys, right? I mean, like I remember wrestling here in the NWO and saying, "Oh shit, you gonna get this?" And here I posed him like this as a fucking toy, man. This is like crazy, dude. This is bonkers. But welcome, Buff, man.
Thank you, bro. Thank y'all so much for having me.
Man, this is about to be some hype shit. All right, well, let me ask you. I want to start off with NWO. Because you know that's the motherfucking shit, right? Yeah. There was a moment, and I thought it was one of your best entrances, and when you came out and you had this fucking Buff Bagwell like NWO shirt, and your face was big as shit on the back of it. And you literally walked all the way down the ramp backwards. Dude, I was like, oh, shit. This is the epitome of heeldom. Was that your idea? Was that like some shit? Was that purely Buff? Or was that somebody else who decided to do that for you?
My mom did think of this.
Okay.
My mom thought of my face on top of my hat, which is cool. But she was cool. You know, so she's who had me, so she was a cool chick.
I love it.
You know what? Dude, that shit was amazing, man, because the heel heat was so heavy, dude. Like, when you came out, the booze, and you had the NWO shit, and that whole back was just Buff, Bagwell face. I was like, oh, fuck. This is...
But what killed me is nobody else thought of doing that stuff. I'm like, dude, we all got the same T-shirt on. Shit, I'm putting my name on mine. Well, no, it's me out here.
Okay.
You know what?
That
was fucking amazing, man.
Or one of these.
Right, that is true.
He's on, bro. That's a Bagwell shit, bro. You can't do it. Good luck. Good luck.
All right, you know what? You can say a lot about your career is that you always stepped heavy into the limelight, right? Like, you always were head first. You never really chickened out on anything. If somebody asked you, hey, I need you to step up and get into this crazy fucking situation, you were like, all right, let's do it. Do I want to be American Males? Let's fucking do it. This shit's amazing. Let's have fun, right? Let's do NWO, biggest heel shit in the business, right? Let's do it. What was that approach like? Like, who approached you? Was it like Bischoff, or like who came up to you and said, hey, I need you in NWO?
Salisbury, Maryland. I'm in the locker room. Me and Scotty Riggs are American Males, and the board hadn't come out yet. The board come out around 5 and told you what everybody was doing, and then referees would come get everybody and take them to the finish room. Not really in order, just kind of whenever they needed to come get you, and they would come get you, and you go in the finish room with Johnny Ace, and you go over your finish, and sometimes you look on the screen and you tell by the board who was going over or not, but sometimes you motherfucker were wrong. So I'm in the locker room, and Nash walked in, and I was probably in the A- locker room, probably kind of deal. And so Nash come walking in, and I said, "What's up, big man?" He goes, "Not much." And me and Kevin were big friends because he always was the big bouncer in Atlanta, and I was like the rich pretty boy in Atlanta. And so we always hung out. We were friends and stuff. And he bounced at the Cheetah, and he also bounced at all the cool clubs that opened. and I was always first one in line at the clubs. And so he come walking up, and I said, "What's up, big man?" And he goes, "Not much." He goes, "Listen," he goes, "Are you happy with where everything's going on?" I said, "Yeah, everything's going pretty good. They give us a win here and there. We won the belts every other day, and so we're doing pretty good." And he said, "You wanna come to the NWO?" And I said, "Are you fucking kidding?" I said, "Hell yeah!"
Hell yeah.
Grab your bag and come to our locker room. And I was like, and dude, first eyeballs I saw were Scotty Riggs. Ain't good at all for him, and I hate it. I love him, but at the same time, who could possibly blame me saying yes?
Right.
So that's the same night, if you remember, that Eric Bischoff ran out there and said, "You've got 30 days to join the NWO or you're fired."
Yeah.
Oh, we pulling on the heartstrings. Huh?
That same interview he was doing, that's when me and Scotty Riggs come walking out. So, and we act like, we're doing what they told us to do, which is act like Scotty's trying to talk me out of it, but I'm going to join. I'm joining the NWO. I'm starting to talk me out of it, and I already come up with, I kind of love Rick Rude. I've always loved Rick Rude. So I wanted to do something like the Rude Awakening, but I wanted it to be kind of a twist to it. So that came the Blockbuster.
Ah, that's dope, man.
The flip over, that's where that came from. So I walk in the ring. When I got in the ring, man, with all that talent, bro, all those stars, I was like,
"It's in another world, right?"
No. This is it, bro. This is it, man. I've already been tag team champion 2 or 3 times, tag team of the year and stuff like that. But Sting saving me as a rookie and rookie of the year and all that. But this is a whole other planet, bro. This is the NWO, and I'm Hulk Hogan and Bischoff and Nash, and they're all hugging me, and we're all doing the 2 sweets and 4 live. All kind of brings me in, says, "Hey, get rid of your boy." So I go over and tell Riggs, something, and he turns around, and I hit him with the Rude Awakening, boom, and up, and do the thing, do the pose. And the rest just kind of, just like, I knew it was going to be something. I knew I had to get rid of Marcus Alexander Bagwell. I mean, not get rid of it, but I knew I had to add something to that at that stage. So it wasn't that week. It was probably like the next week. I started trying to think of another name for me. So we're flying home from Seattle, Washington, and we're trying to think, what can we do, man? I can't remember any names that actually came up, but there were some ideas, but I don't remember them really. We're all in first class, all the big stars in first class, and we're talking, and all of a sudden, in the back corner, man, I hear a voice and it says, "What about Buff?" And everybody just stopped. I looked over and it was Nick Patrick, and I went, "What'd you?" He went, "What about Buff?" And Lex Luger went, "Buff Bagwell." I went, "That's it. That's it, bro." So
That's the shit.
Bro. Yeah. From that, I went straight home and airbrushed everything. But I begged them to try to get rid of my Marcus Bagwell name. I begged them, and they just wouldn't. So they called me Marcus Buff Bagwell. But I just wanted to be Buff, Buff, man. Buff.
The stuff.
Hell yeah, because Buff is the stuff.
Buff. But then I remember I did a video one time. I did a promo, and I went, "I'm Buff, and I'm in Buff." I was rhyming shit with my name, and it worked. And I was wrestling that angle with Riggs, and I said, "I'm Buff, and you're fat." I said, "That ain't."
You know what's wild? Like if you said that shit today, that shit would get you like canceled. You know how like people are with the product. That's the wild part with the, you can't have fun with the product anymore. And it's wild to me how much, like for example, when we go back and we look at the crowds and we had the signs, it's so rowdy. Now it just feels so scripted the way the shit is, it don't feel the same at all. Like it was a different era. It really was at that time.
Hard camera where everybody would stand up.
Yes.
And look at the Prototron television, to see themselves. But everybody, almost every match, they stood up,
Yeah.
Like angle, Now it is ain't.
People don't feel obligated to jump up anymore. They're just like, oh, my kid's here, let them jump up. Let me just. And it's wild to me. Like I remember when Triple H came back from injury. Remember how like the crowd was for that type of thing. Like you don't see that type of reaction.
He tore his quad.
Yeah.
I broke my neck and came back.
Man.
And they made it. They beat me my first match back. Triple H torn hamstring, torn quad, and you thought Jesus Christ came back, bro.
Oh man, it's awesome. It's awesome to see you, Bagwell. I'm glad everything's worked out for you. You look great, man. Seriously,
He does, man. One of our
he's like buffered in Jesus Christ too. I mean, that's fucking crazy.
One of our guys here.
When Mike told me you was coming through, I was like, wait, the Bagwell? He's like, yeah.
I was like, what?
He was like Buff Bagwell. I'm like, wait a minute, who the fuck I know?
Buff.
You mean Marcus Buff was like, oh wait, no, it's Buff Bagwell. Right? It's Buff Bagwell.
Buff, my brother since Saturday, he literally calls me and he goes, Buff Bagwell. That's all he kept saying. It's like you actually got.
Every time I called him, that was the first thing I said. Not hi, not what's up. I just say Buff.
That's all I said.
I know he's coming in.
Oh man.
So no, Buff. I wanted to ask you.
Bagwell.
Go ahead.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh well, first things first. This is Big Cloud Gaming. He's the other guy that said it was going to drop in. So Buff, Big Cloud, Buff.
Honor to meet you. Oh no! Like I interviewed Mickie James not too long ago, and she just did that open. Yeah, she just did like a like that Forbidden Door-esque return with the Royal Rumble. She came in with her TNA gimmick. Now, obviously, she wasn't going to say what I'm about to ask you, which is just like a real legit question about the design choice of certain shit, like the titles. Now, the belts nowadays look like toys. I just keep it a buck. They don't look appealing. They don't look like some shit that you would be proud to hold over your shoulder. When we look back at the old Eagle, the gold belt, the Eagle, we look at the Intercontinental title before it became this joke of a title that it looks like. You already know I gotta ask you, Bagwell, how you feel about these titles, man? Are these titles hitting it? Because I'm seeing AEW bring more prestige back to wrestling. I'm seeing them really treat the women right. They got a dope title. It really shits on a lot of titles in WWE. It's like, bro, how do you feel about these belts? Do you think that should be changed to add more, I don't know, desire in that locker room to step up or wanna be pushed?
I think there's too many belts.
Too many?
Yeah, too many. Number one. Back in the day of WCW, really think about it, bro. You had TV belt,
television, yeah.
Television belt,
yeah.
U.S. title. You had
cruiserweight, I think. Wrestler cruiserweight.
Not at first. You didn't.
You
had the world belt, and you had the U.S. title. So you had four belts. Four belts, bro. Every person that comes on, they got a 24-hour belt now, bro.
I know
that's what I'm trying to say. Like
so garbage,
bro. That shit turned like that shit went from being like I remember when Mick Foley showed it. I'm like, how dare you have Mick Foley debut this shit? like it looked so bad. We saw little snippets of when you saw the green strap, so we knew it was going to be green. But I didn't think the shit would look like that, you know what I mean? And when we saw it, it's like, oh yeah, it's gonna be defended everywhere all the times. Then they turned this shit into a skit show. Every show, it's like, what is this shit? I don't care about no fucking green mint looking belt. What is this shit? It's terrible. It's just terrible. It's like it kills your. You know what it does, bro? It kills your love for the product. You know what I mean? And that sucks. because this is a product that holds so many memories to all of us. You know what I mean? You've been a part of it. You've seen the business. For a lot of us, this was the shit that we turned to when we didn't want to watch no Super Bowl. We didn't want to watch no hockey or shit like that. You know what I mean? This was the shit that we turned into. It's like, oh, this is what I just want to see. I just want to see some motherfuckers get their ass kicked. I want to see dudes have fun. I want to see titles be won. I want to see blood, sweat, and tears. I want to see it all.
I want to hear talking shit. I want to see asses.
Right.
I want to see belts.
You know what?
That's what I want.
You know what?
And now you only see a now you only see a specific mode of wrestler get pushed. You know what I mean? Like when it comes to the world titles. Like remember back then, 2 guys broke that staple and they're no longer with us today, and one will never be mentioned. But you already know I'm talking about Chris Benoit, Eddie Guerrero, when they won the world titles, and it's one of the greatest moments in wrestling history. You see what I'm saying? It's overshadowed though by what? Something that happened outside. And it's like that's the shit that kills me. It's like, bro, you don't see that anymore. That type of love.
No, man, when Rey Mysterio beat Nash, for the world, bro, and I ain't never even won the U.S. belt, bro. I wasn't even ever considered for any of that shit.
Wow,
bro, but I was always playing with the tag world, and so I stuck with it. So I'm the only 6-time, not 5, it's 6. I'm a 6 world tag team champion with 5 different dudes, bro. That's never been done by nobody.
That's
Not 5, and I mean 5 different dudes. Scorpio, like Riggs ain't like Luger. Luger ain't like Shane Douglas.
Right.
6, bro, with 5, bro. Me and Wilk said it twice, so I 6 and 5.
Damn, that is true, man. Shit.
That's the day when that belt meant something, bro.
Yes.
And it's don't mean nothing because every time somebody's got a belt on their shoulder, and I just don't dig that. It needs to mean more.
Yeah.
I mean, like, you know, I thought they were doing something right, like recently, right? Because, you know, obviously Roman Reigns got the WWE and the Universal one, and they was going to supposedly unify the tag team title. So I'm thinking they were going to do it right, you know, get rid of too many belts. Because when you don't have a division, it's kind of pointless to have, you know what I mean, 2 versions of a belt when you have a split division of no tag teams. But now we're hearing that they're not doing that. So it's like, you see what I'm saying? It's like, it's kind of pointless. What are you doing to the talent at this point?
We used to come back from the tag matches and we were the tag champs. There was dudes waiting there with suits on that we had to hand the belts right back to the company.
Right.
Belts meant something, bro. I mean, literally, we came back and had to hand them motherfuckers off.
Right. Now you're hearing stories of people losing the belts.
Oh, making sex tapes with the belts and shit. Remember that?
Yeah.
They come back and give it to you, and you go, "Thank you." They would be cool for a day.
They put it in a showcase or some shit, and then you come back and get it back. You know, because it's like it means something. It's a prize, and that's what I'm talking about. That's what's a prize. Like you look at the WWE, like even with that OG spinner. Remember when the John Cena OG spinner belt?
Spinner belt. Yep, I remember that shit.
But it was distinctively different though when we first saw it compared to what the more streamlined one that we got down the road, and then they made it where it didn't spin. Y'all noticed it had a certain color. That shit was more blinged out in the original. It looks so much more different. Then they used it for his cover. It's different.
You know why the WWF changed their name?
Yes.
Wasn't it the World Wildlife Federation?
They won the lawsuit against, which is weird because their argument was that people know World Wildlife Federation more than WWF.
Bro,
and that was a lie like a motherfucker, man.
No, the fuck they don't. They wanted their fucking money so bad. They wanted it so bad.
It was the chatter.
Now, Buff, let me ask you, man, because I think every time you came out, you were just glad to be there, right? Like, because I swear, man, every entrance was like you soaked it the fuck up. What do you think was your most grandiose entrance where you think you had the biggest pop and the biggest, like, it was just fucking ridiculous? What do you think?
God, man, it was so hot every time, bro.
I know.
Dan coming out with that damn dance, bro, and everybody's fucking crazy at me. I'd bring that camera to me. I'd be like, Get over here. Get over here. I was like, I woke up and looked like this today. I said, there's a plan to look like this, brother. You got a plan to look like this. I said, you just don't wake up and look like this.
Yeah. Give him that pep talk. I see you.
I fucking love it, man.
All right, well, let me
fucking love it,
man.
man.
Let me do this because since we're still talking about like WWE shit, I wanted to show this clip of Kurt Angle, and then I wanted you to take because I think because the way he was talking in this, he kind of contradicted himself. But I wanted to get your live take on this.
Like I promise you.
I also have a question for WWE for you too, there, Buff.
So let me go ahead and play this, and then you tell me what you think. You should be able to see it in Discord because I'm streaming it into Discord. So if you tap on that, you should be able to see it. So here we go.
Those who know him absolutely love him and think the world of him. But for whatever reason, his time here in the company was not for long. Did you have any interaction with Buff that you recall?
I met with him, I spoke with him briefly. He was a real nice guy. He seemed really cool. Unfortunately, his performance against Booker T that night when they started up the WCW and had that big match at the end of the night, he didn't perform very well. And he wasn't in good shape, not in good ring shape. He blew up early and the match wasn't really good. It was actually pretty bad. And I know he got fired soon after that, but I was told the reason he got fired was because his mother called in sick to the company because he couldn't go to a house show because he felt sick. And he had his mother call the company. I think that was the last straw that broke the camel's back. And, that's when Buff was let go. So I'm not sure how true that was, but that's what I was told.
So, and I remember I watched a few interviews that you had, and you had stated that it was weird how they let you go because they didn't really say shit. Like, they didn't verify anything. They just kind of was like, you just got this, like, meeting, and you were like, you already knew what the fuck was going on and the way that the meeting was structured. I mean, is Kurt Angle even speaking facts or what? Because like when he went on into this interview, he also stated that he never really got around you. But in the same interview, he talks about how him and Steve Austin beat up Booker T with you, and then he fought you. So like, what's the deal with this situation?
First of all, he was right about one thing. I wasn't in good ring shape because, we've been off for, 2, 3, 4 weeks, and I wasn't, I was depressed about WCW. I went from making $1 million a year to $175,000.
Ooh.
I had to
Oh, yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Damn.
I lost my car. I lost my motorcycles. I was still making great money, but
You're making a fraction of what it was. Right.
Yeah. So,
yeah.
I was down. I was, up. I was pissed off. I was mad, and so, but still, keep in mind, I'm got to run at the WWF, so I'm coming in on. I'm actually excited at first, and then when I get there, I come out with hands, and everybody's like, "This," and I went, "Oh shit! This ain't good. This is bad." And I mean, like friends and stuff, like Steve Austin was like, I was like, "Hey, bro, do you remember Marcus Bagwell, WCW, Stunning Steve?
Stunning Steve Austin?
Remember that? Not, I survived 5 bosses, bro, in 11 years at WCW because they knew Marcus Bagwell. And that's who I am, bro. That's who you are. Marcus Bagwell.
But yeah.
Is they didn't know Marcus Bagwell. They didn't get time to meet Marcus Bagwell. They knew Internet Buff.
Yeah.
It.
So would you say you fell victim of the politics, I guess you could say, of the WWE at that point? Because I know that's like the ghost or a lot of people talk about is the politics that go on behind stage with WWE. Would you say that would be it?
I was there 2 weeks, bro.
That's crazy.
2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Jim Ross.
Only 2 weeks?
2 or 3 weeks. I went to wrestling school for a week. And
No, I would think you've been there at least.
Well,
like
remember, because he had the match because you had the crazy match with Booker T, and everybody was popping because when Kurt Angle and Steve Austin came out, it was like, oh shit, here we go, right? WCW versus WWF. All of a sudden, Booker T gets jumped. Buff Bagwell's kind of standing in the ring. You're like, oh shit, so you join in, and now it's even more crazy because it's like, oh fuck, WCW jumping WCW with WWF, and it was kind of a crazy ass moment because everybody was standing up in the crowd. Everybody was like, holy shit, what's going on? You go to the back, y'all beat the shit out of Booker T, then they all look at you, you like, hell yeah, let's fucking go. And then they're like, no, fuck you. But the crowd was popping so fucking hard for that. That's why I can't even imagine.
Was that it? Was that was it? Right? Was that was?
Well, I think there was one more match. I think there was like it was another interrupted match. I think, and it was you, Buff. I don't even think you were even in the match. I think you had came out or something.
I just came out.
Yeah,
and I think Baker and somebody.
Yeah, and it was just like a moment, and then it was just like.
Damn, dude, that's
you know what? It's so crazy, man. Because when you compare that to the way it was in NWO, it was like you were like a core member of that. Like whenever the shit went down, right? It was always like you had the main ones in the ring, Hogan. You know what I'm saying? Like you had everybody in the ring, and you were always there. People were always pissed because you were always posing and stronger than, you know what I'm saying? Because that was heel.
That's what you gotta do.
Well, that's heel shit, right? It's like constantly show why I'm better than you, right? So you flex heavy, and it's just crazy when I see this. So let me ask you this: what was that conversation like when the message came down that Vince had owned WCW? What was that conversation like? Was it like, holy shit?
Oh yeah.
What was that initial? What was your initial thought? Were you like, fuck this shit, I'm out? Or were you like, hell yeah, hashtag WWF? Even though before hashtags began, like what was it? What was it like?
What happened was we were in Jacksonville, Florida the night before, and then they had Panama City the next day. So all the guys that were late, which is all the guys that make money, like Luger, Goldberg, Sting, Nash, Hall, Bagwell, all of us pull up late, and we see WWF trucks, semis in Panama City.
Oh,
we're like,
shit.
What the hell? This can't be good, bro.
Uh-oh.
So all of us split off and went to our connects of who we were friends with to find out what. And about 3 minutes, not about 5 minutes into that, of us splitting off to find out what's going on, a guy come out to work for the WWF and said, hey, Shane McMahon's got a meeting in 2 minutes in this room right here. So there's a little bitty room, and the whole WCW, staff, wrestlers, referees, everybody is in there, and Shane McMahon's there. And I'm standing right beside me and Luke or World Tag. I think we just lost the belts to Sean Jindrak for some reason. I don't even know why. Because we were told we were taking a 6-week break. Somehow he had lied to us, and nobody found out.
Wow.
Top talent, bro, and nobody in my group knew. That means Luger's, Stings, Nash's, Halls, nobody knew. And we were told there was a 6-week break. So Shane walks up and goes, how you guys doing? I'm Shane McMahon. We own WCW now. We're going to keep some wrestlers. We're going to fire some wrestlers. We're going to keep some referees. We're going to fire some referees. And we're going to keep some staff, and we're going to fire some staff. Does anybody have any questions?
Basically, the translation, we're going to migrate these people to our show. Yeah.
I said nothing, and he goes, all right, we got a card. We got a show coming out tonight, and we'll just get with you and let everybody know what's going on. But that's kind of what's going on, and I got to get ready for the show. And about half the crowd went, like a little golf clap kind of. And I looked over at Luger, and Luger's going,
Damn.
Right.
I
I'm say, I'm pretty sure it was like a pin drop. You can hear in that fucking crowd, like with the awkward clapping. You probably hear a pin drop. Like, what the fuck did I just hear? Like, you bought what?
You got like, hey, I was like, I'm doing what Luger's doing. So there's the bad part was all of a sudden the card comes out for the night. Me and Luger ain't on it. Totally Buff ain't on it. And I'm going, this can't be good.
Yeah.
I go get
right.
going home. I'm depressed. It's over. I had an 11-year career. It's done. It's over. I had a blast for 11 years, and it's done. It's gone. It's by. It's see. It's done.
Yeah.
And, I get in my car, and I see Luger running toward me. And I'm thinking, Luger's fucking running?
His buff ass legs is like.
This is great or this is bad. I'm not sure which one.
Right.
So I turned my car off and like meet him halfway. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? He goes, dude, we're on the show. I go, what are we doing? He goes, we got an interview. I've never seen it, but that show, me and Luger do an interview. Can't tell you what it was about. Don't remember. Don't really care.
What?
I get halfway home, and me and my wife and my dad calls me. He goes, where you at? I said, I'm heading home, bro. He said, well, are you okay? I said, no. No, I'm not, bro. I said, it's fucking over, He goes, I know.
Right.
There's
a lot going through.
News for you, though. I said, what? He goes, I'm watching the show. He said, and Vince came out, and he said 5 names, and you're one of the 5.
Wow.
He goes, and I think he got, and I went, and sure enough, I did. I got the second biggest pop, and I was one of 5 guys that Vince named. Every one of my top talent friends said that if Vince McMahon said my name, I was in. He said, Vince don't.
Yep.
As it worked, Vince don't do that. So, so it was considered throughout the boys that Buff had a job.
Right.
Me, I took it. I took it like, hey, bro, I gotta walk on eggshells. I gotta be cool about this. I gotta make a job again. I've survived 5 bosses at WCW. I can survive.
You gotta make this work, right?
I gotta make this work. So the first test they threw at me was going to wrestling school, and they just knew I was gonna bitch about it. Didn't say a word. I was right at school, brother. Learn that, and it did make a difference. That 2 feet did make a little bit of a difference.
Yeah.
Hey, yeah, anytime you get extra little training, it does.
Right. Help you rough out the edges and just get more crisp with it. Yeah. Because a lot of people in WWE still don't know how to take a bump. You know what I mean? And
the main thing is I wanted to make sure not to bitch about it. So I didn't.
Right. Exactly.
Right.
The last day of wrestling school, which was a week, we had a great workout that day, dude. All the 12 guys they hired 12 guys. It was me, Dow's, and Booker were the top guys, and then it was your Jendrax, your O'Haras, your Hugh Morrises, your Chuck Palombos,
Chuck Palumbo, yeah.
Underrated too, yeah.
Absolutely. A lot of great talent was there, but just guys who just B talent kind of. But me, Booker, and Dallas were considered the 3 top guys that were there right at that stage. And what nobody really knows or remembers is that the next week after me and Booker's match, right quick, I want to tell you, was Atlanta. So let me ask you a question. And you own WCW. Are you going to put Booker T in Tacoma, Washington with Buff Bagwell? Or are you going to wait 7 days and put him in Phillips Arena in Atlanta, Georgia?
Right.
For the first match of the invasion. So we knew it was fucking over in Tacoma.
Damn.
When me and Booker wrestled, it was over then, and we knew it.
Yeah.
But me and Booker are backstage in Tacoma a week before Atlanta, and we're having a main event match in Tacoma. Instead of
that doesn't make sense. Especially if you shouldn't get in an invasion. That's the part. Yeah, that's so weird.
backyard, bro. We're going to be in 7 days, and instead we do it 5,000 miles away.
Yeah,
Crazy.
Stage like this,
they pulled the bait and switch.
you damn right they did.
Yeah,
Bro. Listen, tell you something else you don't know. Everybody goes out, they get booed. Arn Anderson, Scott Hudson, they're announcing, they got booed. Stacy Keibler's a ring announcer, she got booed. The referee goes out, he gets booed. Shane McMahon goes out, he gets booed. For whatever reason, I don't know why, Booker went out before me, and he was the champion.
Yep.
But
that's the championship always
comes out
last.
last. Yeah.
so my music, so everybody's gotten booed, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on? So I'm still trying to get pumped up and ready, and here we go. And so my music hits, and I do the curtain to go, like, get ready to go around the turn, to turn the corner. And it's right when I look for the curtain, hand hits me right here, and my music's playing. And I look, and it's Shane. And Shane goes, I forgot to tell you, which is a fucking lie. And he goes, I forgot to tell you, but you can't look in the camera. Go back and
That's
watch.
part of your gimmick is to look and motivate people and talk shit. That's part of your gimmick.
Go watch the match back. I never look in one fucking camera, that old motherfucker.
I do remember that. Yeah, I do remember that.
But you know what I did? You know what was weird?
Yeah,
You know what was
I
weird?
was questioning what the hell was he doing? Like, why is he not doing the full shtick?
Yeah, because I was wondering why he didn't go like 100%. Yeah.
You know what was weird? You had hella.
Wow.
You know how I knew that I thought they were gonna push this invasion angle?
was like,
was your pyro. When you came out, your pyro was like, they blew the budget on the pyro. When you hit that shit, it was like plop, 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 plop. Like, what the fuck? Like, I didn't understand. Like, and then when I just didn't get it. Like, I didn't understand why they didn't go forward with that.
Dude, that's wild. Hey, but let me ask you this now.
Camera.
You know, I gotta ask you this. Obviously, AEW, new kid on the block, changing the game. I know you've seen the shit with Cody Rhodes. Like, he left, he helped make that, but now he's back with the company and whatnot. And you see how dirty this company is. What you just said, like how shady they are. How do you feel about that? And do you think? Do you think like that's going to set like a bad precedent for the company, like where people will actually leave AEW, go back to WWE?
I just got the 411 on that the other day with me and Dallas were talking about it because he's really tight with Cody, and actually Cody is a real good kid, man, and he's Dallas loved Dusty and all that. So Dallas and Cody are really tight. And so Dallas was a little bit aware, I think, of all what was going on a little bit and everything. But Dallas didn't really talk about it. But it just, to answer your question, I think it's Bruce Smart on Cody's end of what he did.
Yeah, like money wise, he maximized for sure profit.
It was a good decision for him, but the company did kind of screw up and give him that time to use that as an angle, and so Cody did, and I think it was very smart of him to do, and that is the nature of this business, bro. We always raise the roof. I mean, if we heard Booker got a raise or somebody else got a raise, we were not going to bitch before. Like, hey, bro, he's making that. I'm Buff Bagwell, bro. Raise the roof.
Raise the roof, man.
So we called it. We're like, hey, I heard Stevie Ray's making $750. Who raised
hold on, what?
No, but like it's wild though. You said they like Shane literally stopped you before before you went out the curtain, so don't look at the camera. But if you look at the current product, you're still seeing subtle shit to that, like when they're changing characters' names or people's names, they got them not acting the same way. Like Raquel Gonzalez, I remember her. They got her coming out as Raquel Rodriguez, and they have her smiling every 5 seconds at the camera. It's like, what is she doing? Raquel Gonzalez does not smile at the camera. She's the badass. Comes out there and beats the hell out of you. Whatever happens, or Samoa Joe. Remember how people were complaining about Samoa? Well, supposedly they didn't like how Samoa Joe was this big guy, but I'm like, did you not watch TNA? Samoa Joe is a fucking killer. That's what he's known. He's a big dude that will fucking destroy you. It's like
now, Buff, I do have a
like when Jim Ross called me and to tell me, he called me on a Wednesday. Here's what really went down that took place of his lie saying my mother called. He called me up and I got three witnesses of this story. Jesus Christ, me, and Jim Ross. That's all I got, bro. But here's Jim Ross called me up and he said, "Hey, Buff, how's your head?" Keep in mind, I had 20 stitches during the match, 25 staples in my head. I had to get a Sharpie to hide my bald spot from the staples when I wrestled.
Wow.
From comes hitting me with that brick water bottle, the frozen water bottle. After I slapped him at the wrestling school that day, the last day, he hits me with a frozen water bottle in the back of the head from behind, and I got a blood all around me. Here comes Johnny Ace and Finley, and I got 11 sets of eyes on me going, "Don't tell Buff. Don't do it. Don't tell on us. Don't tell on us." And here's Johnny Ace. Oh man, I'm bleeding profusely. And they goes, "What happened?" I go, "Fell." And Johnny goes, "You fell?" I said, "Yeah, man. I'm coming out of the ring," and all the guys were like, "Oh, thank God."
Oh man.
So as soon as Johnny walked off, I go, "Guys, you know you motherfuckers have already texted this shit, emailed it." I said, "This ain't gonna be quiet." And they convinced me that it would. So I went with it to save their jobs, and Helms was crying, holding the towel on my head. Shane Helms was crying because I had a job and everybody knew it. And here's Helms, he hit the star. And so I said, "It's my fault. I slapped you first, dude. Fuck, man. It is what it is. Fuck, I got a few staples in my fucking head. I need to go to the doctor. Who gives a fuck, man?"
Wow.
Let it go. Well, about it. I go home, fucking get my own doctor to fix it. I don't say a word. I do what all the 11 guys asked me to do. I show up, and the first guy I see is Shane Helms with the Hardy Boys. And I said, "Hey," and none of them said, "Hey" back or hello or nothing.
Wow.
And straight to fucking Johnny Ace. And I said, "Johnny, we need to talk." And I told him the whole fucking story of what happened down to school. And that day that he hit me from behind, I sat down, showed him my staples and all that. He was like, "What the fuck, man? Why didn't you tell me?" I said, "Johnny," I said, "I had 11 guys' careers that they wanted me to lie, and they didn't want to tell you."
Right, you're just looking out for the team, basically. Yeah.
Right, and nobody says hello to me. So
that's fucked up, man. Because in wrestling, it's supposed to be the code of the gladiator type of thing.
Right? You know? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You're supposed to be all like together because that's the thing.
Yeah, because I remember how you guys took chair shots. Y'all took that as like a badge of honor type of thing, you grit your teeth type of thing. So that's why I'm like, that's wild.
Johnny gets us all together, and he says, he goes, "Look, you guys got to make up, shake hands, whatever it takes. My job's on the line here too, bro. I gotta make it happen." Da, da, da. Well, during that, it comes out that I'm main event versus Booker T, and I'm like, "Fuck!" I said, I got Booker T tonight," and I'm like, so then it starts realizing next week's Atlanta. Why are we doing this and all that? So I have the match with Booker T. This is the timeline. I have the match with. Look in the camera. Go home. The next week's Atlanta. So the week before that Monday in Atlanta, we had 3 drive shots. If you lived in Atlanta, why would I call my fucking mother on 3 drive shots when I'm trying to make it in the WF? I didn't. Jim Ross called me to rest my head that they had big plans for me on Monday. They had big plans for me, all right. Fucking fire.
Dude, that
is bonkers, man.
Yeah, that's fucking bonkers, dude. Because it's so crazy. Because like when I think about like when I was younger and like the Monday Night Wars and all this shit that went down with W. Because remember, there was a point where WCW outviewed WWF, especially when NWO formed and Hulk Hogan had turned heel, and it was like this group was forming. And, of course, you have your mains, and it was just like, I don't see how Vince could not see profit in a Buff Bagwell, right? Like, because the way your persona is like perfect. WWE shit, honestly, because WWE was more about, the persona and somebody that was the
Attitude,
bigger
right?
than life
The
characters.
showmanship. That's what
Yeah,
that was about.
yeah, and
Talking
it's like when
too.
you think of
Yeah,
Buff
yeah.
Bagwell, you thinking, man, this motherfucker's about to piss me off. He's about to win the match. You know what I'm saying? He's posing in front of the fans that's booing the shit out of him, right? And you can't help it because the pyro's dope. So it's just like I didn't get that, and then for Kurt Angle to say what he said. I'm like,
Bro, did you
I don't think that's the
hear what
fucking case. I think there was something else behind that.
hear what Conrad said before Kurt talked? Conrad said, why do you think Buff Bagwell never got a second chance? And I didn't, bro. I mean, do you realize I'm the only guy in the history of pro wrestling that was main event one week and fired the next?
Yeah.
It's like,
Well,
what
I'm
happened
so
there?
tripping about that.
That's
I'm
wild.
tripping. That's why
Dude, I'm
tripping.
telling
Like
you,
this.
man, the match when you came down and before you stepped out, the pyro. Like usually, WWF don't blow budgets on pyro, especially if you're not main event. Usually,
Like
you're
a
the
main event star,
Titantron,
yeah.
or you come in with music and that's it. But when you came out, literally the pose was timed to the magnificent fucking pyro. So I'm thinking, holy shit, Buff Bagwell's push is insurmountable. But that was not the case. And I think there was something personal there. There had to be.
Yes,
You know what it was? Vince didn't create it or think of the character, so therefore he had to kill it.
He
That's
couldn't
what it is.
control it.
I'm seeing that so
He
much.
couldn't own
Like
it
I
and
see
say,
that with
I
Triple
created
H.
Buff Bagwell,
Yeah.
right? Like he couldn't do
Yeah,
that.
like
Yes.
look at Ricochet and all these guys who had great gimmicks starting, and then now they're like downgraded versions of what Vince kind of wants. It's like it's basically what I see it right there, like a gutted version.
I was that day. I'm formerly known as Buff because I own Buff Bagwell's name, and Vince didn't. So literally,
See,
I had to sue Vince to get my fucking top hat back.
Vince is petty like that.
No,
'Cause remember,
no way.
you know what? He's petty like that.
You had to sue him for the signature hat.
Yes.
No, it was down. See, they had a trailer so you could keep your big stuff that instead of traveling with it, you keep it on the road with you. So
Right, like your prop. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
when I just kept it down in the trailer. Well, I realized I left it in Atlanta that day because I got fired. So I called to get my hat, and they wouldn't send it to me. So I literally had to get my lawyer to write papers up to get my fucking hat sent to me and sue.
Wow.
Petty ass
That's
shit,
petty.
man.
That's
That's
petty
petty
bullshit.
ass
Disgusting.
shit.
That is
But you know what,
disgusting.
Vince and that whole like Bruce Pritchard and all of them, they're like known for like the petty shit, especially if it's personal. That's why I didn't. That's why I couldn't put two and two together because I'm like, damn, it must be something personal. Maybe Buff, like maybe somebody's wife was crushing and they got mad because the goatee was too popping. And dudes,
Jim Ross out lied about me. He lied and said my mother called. She did not. And then he actually said that he liked me and he was just doing his job. That's another fucking lie because there's a heat seeker video out there
I saw
that
it.
he's on and he fucking rips me the fuck apart. He didn't like me. He didn't do his fucking job. He fucking lied to me and then backdoored me and fucking I got fired and fucking he was part of it. He was part of it. And our finish was given to us by Stone Cold.
Wait,
And
what?
Stone Cold walked up to Booker T and me and told us what was going to go happen. Now, when Stone Cold tells you what to do, what do?
You fucking
You fucking
good.
do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Fucking do it.
So we did. We get back to the back, and me and Booker kind of start realizing that we've not really give a good performance as we could have, but it wasn't as bad as people said by no
Right.
means. It wasn't a missed punch.
Correct.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't see a
Oh, fuck
bad
up.
match at all when I watched it. And
It just wasn't high flying, but it wasn't like it was not a terrible match at all.
No, it wasn't. There was no mistakes. There was no missed pitches, no missed kicks, no missed punches, no missed close. It was just not a very good match. But regardless, we get back to the back, and me and Booker start having a little bit of words over it. And I go, Booker, wait a minute. Whoa, don't put this on me, bro. I said, wait a minute. I go, me and you have had 1,000 great matches. Think about me and Scorpio.
Yep.
Stripes, American Males. How many matches we had with Booker T and Stevie Ray? 1,000,000. And me and Booker never missed a fucking step. We always held our shit perfect. And all of a sudden, here comes Pat Patterson and Johnny Ace. And they go, hey guys, listen to me. Oh, don't get in an argument. This is not y'all's fault. This is our fault. And now we're like, what? And they go, Pat does the main events for WWF. He goes, and Johnny goes, I thought Pat was doing y'all's finish, and he thought I was doing it since y'all were WCW guys. And both of us thought each one of us were given the finish. So you guys really wasn't told what to do or anything except by Stone Cold. Y'all didn't really know what to do in the match like we wanted y'all to do. And so it's really not y'all's fault. It's okay. And then 7 days later, I get fired.
Right. How you going to get reassured it's okay and then get fired?
It just blew my mind when I was reading the facts on that, because I'm like, there's a lot of like misquotes and a lot of like little dance around the fucking subject. Nothing is ever somebody saying, well, here's the real shit. Buff did this and somebody got shitty and there was a politic. They never say that. They always go, well, there was this latent thing, or his mama was involved, or what they say, you were hard to deal with, which was false as fuck, because most of the wrestlers who speak of you always say Buff is the nicest goddamn dude ever created. Yes, he's a heel in persona, but when you're actually talking to Marcus, it's like fucking your uncle and shit. It's like your uncle. It's like your goddamn cousin.
He's like your fucking uncle.
He's like your goddamn cousin. He's like your homie. He's never like did any bullshit.
Come out with a can. I always hit home with all the fans and always give a shit, man, and always cared. And I always was the guy at the fence signing autographs to the fans and giving extra pluses, and just I always gave a fuck, man. I always dug deep. That fucked up situation, man, that I got the raw into the point of a guy that I dogged out, that I apologized to many times later, was Conrad. The night, he's, because he knows I got fucked.
Yeah.
Anybody in this knows Buff Bagwell got fucked. Period.
Because it just didn't add up. It just, how do you get that much pyro to be let go? Because usually you will come out with no entrance, right?
Crazy.
It's just like,
and what's crazy is like, everybody was hype as fuck. I mean, even in the arena, everybody
because it was an invasion angle. It was part of the invasion angle. Supposedly, it was, let's bring out the WCW guys, right? And then we'll have WWF come run in. We'll have the brawl. Then the beef next week will be the invasion angle, which I thought that was what it's supposed to be. Buff Bagwell entangled with Steve Austin. There's a little history there because of WCW. And we can build off of that. And it seemed like that would have been kind of perfect. Even if you would have took the fall on that. It would have been a great little beef, because it's like, oh shit, invasion full effect, right? Like, I didn't understand that.
Cross on that Wednesday, I was so relieved. I went, okay, they got big plans for me on Monday. Everything's been put behind. We're good to go. There's no way they'd let me out of those shows just to let me rest my head. All right, man. I was so fucking pumped to come in on Monday. I hit the gym. I was ready. I cardio. I was fucking ready.
Yeah.
Boots, everything ready to go. 3:00 that afternoon, I got called to the fucking. Let me tell you what happened earlier that day. I'm in Atlanta, Georgia, and big plans for Buff Day, right? That's all I know. It's around 1:00, and I got my top hat and stuff beside me in the locker room and everything. Well, I get up to go get something to drink, and I come back. I come back to the locker room, and my fucking top hat was crushed in.
What?
And I was like,
whoa,
sell nothing. You don't sell anything ever. So I didn't say a word, a few giggles, and I fixed my top hat, put it back down. Don't say a word. Don't make eye contact with nobody. Just do my thing, just chilling. An hour later, I needed to get something to eat or something, catering or something. So I went and got something to eat or something. Come back, top hat crushed in again. Hear a few giggles. Don't sell it. Don't say nothing. I fix it again. Put it right back in my box again. Don't say a word. About a minute goes by. The third time I get up and take a few steps and turn back around, and I crush my own top hat in.
Oh shit!
Hey, when I got back to the locker room, it was fixed.
Shit, I don't want the smoke.
That's some
I
true
want all the smoke. Go ahead.
shit
Let's
right
go.
there, man.
Yeah.
You can't make that story up, bro.
I love
It was
Buff, I got another crazy
That is
situation
perfect.
that you.
That's actually perfect. How you just killed the troll.
I got another crazy situation you were in, dude. And I wanted to ask you about this, Jenny Jones. Like, because you were always kind of pulled out into other media, right? Like they wanted you to do some role, or they wanted you to do so. Now I'm gonna play this clip, right? And then I want you, once we get done.
this
with
was
the clip,
fucking legendary,
this
man.
is legendary as
Hold
fuck.
on, Jenny Jones.
Yes, he was on Jenny Jones. So let me pull this up for chat too, and then Buff
He
will
was
watch this, and
there.
then you tell me what you think. All right?
I was
Here we go.
Ready to do it.
Okay,
Ready
here's
to
the
do
mic.
it. Here we go. Thanks, Jenny. Weighing in at nearly 250 pounds, he's a four-time tag team champion and the master of his signature move, the Buff Blockbuster. Give it up, Chicago, for Buff Bagwell.
Dude, when you took that top part off, dude, it was flexing for these bitches, man. That was amazing, man.
Bro, Bagwell was in his own world. I'm telling you, dude.
Dude. Boom, there it is.
look how good. Look how good I look.
You look amazing, dude.
Fucking scary, dude.
Dude, Jenny Jones' draws was wet as fuck when you walked out, man. Like, seriously.
There it is.
Welcome to the show. You look absolutely amazing.
Well, Jenny, I must agree with you.
So, Buff, man, let me ask you, man. How was that moment? Because that's like when you start getting pulled. That's why I still didn't understand why they didn't use you in WWE, because people wanted you on their stuff. So how was that like being pulled on Jenny Jones? Like, what was that whole situation like?
Dude, do you realize looking like that right there, dude? I was on top of the world, bro. I was in the nobody could touch me, bro. I was in such good shape. It was just the perfect body at the perfect time, and thank God that I was healthy and good, and it just worked, man. It was just meant to be. That's that star right there. The WWF fired.
I didn't get it.
Believe it.
Because, like, that pop right there, and that was, like, NWO heavy, too. That was, like, when y'all were kicking WWE's ass with that shit.
Yeah.
And Jenny Jones is all about it. Like, how did she approach you? Did she, like, reach out to WCW? Was this just something that she reached out to you personally? How did you get that gig?
Stuff that came to me all the time, like Charmed and The Day of the Warrior and Return to Savage Beach and all those people that, it was just B films, but that was more films than anybody else was doing. Wasn't like anybody else was getting picked. They were picking
right.
Yeah.
So I went with it, But it was just there was no stopping that person right there. There was no stopping him, and except for the WCW to get bought by the WWF, and that happened, and it was good. But at that stage right there, dude, my friends were Sting, Luger, Nash, Hall, and I was untouchable, bro. I was Buff Bagwell and over with everybody, and everybody liked me, and I was friends with everybody, and nonstop. Wasn't no stopping.
Another funny thing too, man, is literally when you ask people about video games, right? And you're talking about wrestling video games. And we're talking retro style games. And there was one that came to mind a lot, and that's WCW NWO Revenge on like Nintendo 64. And they said a lot of people would actually use you in the game because you were actually kind of like OP, like you were kind of cheating in the fucking game, dude. Like literally, man. Like somehow your hitboxes were like better. I don't know if it was they added the buffness to the character or what, dude. But like if you were running through the fucking game, it was two people you ran it with in WCW Revenge. It was Buff Bagwell and Sting. Those were the two people that you could beat the fucking game like it was nothing. Have you had a chance to actually check out any of this shit? Because you still make the rounds now. Like even in 2K22, your fucking character's in there because somebody created it. Like how do you feel about all that?
I just, it's cool. It's cool as hell, and like what's happening to me now on Twitter, everybody being excited about me on Twitter. And, it's like I think I'm more popular now than I was in NWO.
The support was there. It just they didn't
They
use
just didn't treat you right.
That's
man.
not on you.
That's
not on you.
Yeah,
that's on them for not utilizing the talent. But the impact was there, and what I'm happy with is that you're in good spirits with it. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Because when you hear something this depressing and whatnot, people will take that to a dark spot, and then they'll like turn that into another negative where it'd be like, they're drinking or something like, you know what I mean? They take it out on themselves. Mm-hmm. I see you in a healthier mindset where you're just you found a bright side about it. What I love that about that is just, you're like, yeah, I got fired, but I didn't look good when I went out. That's the positive you got out of it. That's why I'm like, Yep.
So Buff, let me ask you about this because this is interesting when you said social media. Rebuilding Buff. So this is kind of like your claim to kind of like get back into the media fold, right? Doing some wrestling events, doing a lot of promotional stuff. Like, what's up with the whole rebuilding Buff?
Yeah. What happened was I called the WWF to go to rehab. I wanted to go. I wasn't bad, but I wanted to prove that I was in the game. I was here still, and I was willing to show the fans that I would dedicate myself 90 days somewhere to let my fans see that I'm back.
Right.
And
right.
I go to the WWF. Girl's gone to rehab 1,000 times up there, and I ask them, and they turn me down. The only wrestler to ever be turned down by the WWF.
That's a damn shame.
Because Hogan sued Vince McMahon. Hold on, Hogan sued Vince McMahon not once but twice for millions of dollars for like the doping scandals and stuff like that. But all Buff Bagwell did was pose. You showed the fuck up. You got the heel heat, right? And then they were like, "Fuck you, Buff." You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't.
You got Vince watching like that interview that you just did, like damn Jurassic Park, where he's like, "I really hate that man." Like you were both so like you were both. Like, come on, man.
So
that's crazy.
Now, there's another thing too I wanted to ask you, and it's kind of a shitty subject because it kind of goes. Here. It's with Stevie Ray. So I guess Stevie Ray was mad at you too. But I think he took the quote wrong because
you told me about this already. I didn't hear about this.
Because I thought I read a story about how you were saying that NWO needs to have a little bit more culture, and you were reaching out, I think, to Eric, and you and Sting were like, "Yo, we need some black folks in here. We need some Asians. Hell, we need some little people in here." Like what? So, but Stevie Ray, I guess when the dude read the quote to him, it was as if you said no to him coming into NWO, and that wasn't the case, right?
Not like I had the stroke over Hogan, Nash, and Hall. Are you kidding me? I didn't have no stroke, dude. I was just hanging on, bro. But let's just be honest. Stevie Ray really wasn't in the original NWO.
He was at the end. Yeah.
And I really don't remember ever walking out with Stevie Ray. I don't remember. And to be totally honest with you, I love him to death, but we all know that he got a Hall of Fame ring because of Booker.
That's facts, though.
Facts. It's kind of facts.
That is facts. Because Stevie Ray did his own solo run, and it wasn't like Booker T's. So
it ain't like he got it because of Stevie Ray. He got Booker T and Harlem Heat. I get it, but bro, Booker T could work circles around Stevie, bro.
Yeah.
He's a damn good wrestler.
I mean, look what they did to China, Bagwell.
Yeah.
Like she should have had her Hall of Fame shit long before this, but what do? They just put her in a stable DX. I think that's the biggest slap in the face yet, because this was your first powerhouse of a woman. You know what I mean? This is your eighth wonder of the world type of star. She was that good.
It's the same
I don't give a damn
thing.
what she did outside. That's not what she did. Now she was the inspiration to what? Women.
Yes.
You know what I mean? That's what it was. And and it sucks that she'll never be known for that. She's known as just being Eddie Guerrero's on-screen girlfriend or Triple H's girlfriend backstage who happened to be part of DX. It's like, no, she was so much more than that.
So what?
That's what kills me.
So Buff, let me give you a chance.
Tonight, she was talking about how she, helped the women get started, and she was a big part of that. Because she was on the show, and there's only 2 or 3 girls on our show.
Yep.
But back to rebuilding Buff, when I started doing that, Dallas started a show here at the Accountability Crib called Change or Die. And I wasn't at the stage of changing or dying, but I was definitely at the stage of needing to change. And so I dove in. I was like head first, like, here's a friend reaching out, and I'm all in. He said, let me drive. I said, I'll let you drive. And I let him drive the whole way, and I've listened to him, and it's the fans have got behind me again, and it's just I'm back. I'm back to Buff Bagwell again, and I feel good. I came in here at 270, bro.
That's awesome.
270. And I said, he goes, and now I lost 30 pounds in 2 weeks.
Jeez.
Wow.
Weeks, bro, and look like that still. And it just worked. It's just the DDPY thing works, but you just got to work it. The diet, training, all that, and I'll be back on TV again, bro. There's no doubt in my mind. It's a matter of getting my knee 100%. It's about 80, and I'm doing the hyperbaric chamber every 3 times a week. I go tomorrow, and I go Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursdays, and then I do the DDPY every morning with Josh at 8:45 or Dallas. And tomorrow I'll do that too, and then when I get back, I think if I had my choice, which I don't, I would choose AEW.
I was going to ask that. So
I would love to see you.
I was just about to ask him that. Like, would you consider going to AEW? And I think you should, dude, because Buff Bagwell, listen, that is like one of the best fucking gimmicks out there. It was to me.
Exactly.
Me and Danny, we used to wrestle in the lower circuit, but that was like our thing. Like the whole NWO, the arrogance, right? The bravado, the tenacity, and just coming in the ring. And we used to be like, man, every time we saw Buff Bagwell, we would laugh. Because we know some shit talk is about to happen, and we know he was about to get it. We know he was about to do this shit, so we just was waiting for that shit. There we go.
like I said, that moment, man, you gotta wind it up. And like I said, that moment,
you come out like as a manager for one of the newer talents, or like for example, they assign Big Cass to the company. I would love to see you manage Big Cass to the ring and be like his mouthpiece type of thing.
Pass the time.
There you go. Yeah, why not? I would love to see it. Yeah.
Hello, AEW. What the fuck are you doing? Yeah,
that's the beauty of knowledge. You pass it on.
I'll pull a rabbit out.
I would like to see you in another match or two. I mean, I saw you, coming to GCW and you fought Joey Janela. That was a great, fantastic match you had with Joey Janela. But I would like to see you come to AEW and maybe face one of those people over there, like maybe Powerhouse Hobbs.
Yeah.
Powerhouse Hobbs. Yeah. Powerhouse Hobbs, dude. That would be amazing. Right there.
Or hell, was surprised the hell of us. Go in there and slap the hell out of Taz. Have you fight Taz.
Hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah. But then you have to win like this and shit. Then you got to put your foot on his chest and just win like this. Dude, I would fall over in my motherfucking chair, dude. I'd be like, "Hey, he's it. This is it."
Buff, let me show you this shit, man. This is what I was.
You
Hold
still
on.
got it. That's all I'm gonna hear in the
Guys,
chat. You still got it.
Check this shit out.
Even better. Hold on, even better. Maybe you bring the Jericho Appreciation Society. Awesome. You and Jericho on the Appreciation Society? Oh, dude, that'd be like you got that healing right there.
Well, because that would be some history shit too. You know what I'm saying? It's a history shit. Buff, let me show you this shit, dude. This is what I was talking about earlier, man. This is how you know you a consummate heel, right? Let me pull this up for chat so they can fucking see it too. But this is one of the most heelest fucking entrances I've ever seen in my life, right here, man.
Show me.
Let me blow it up, and here we go.
Yes.
Look at this motherfucker walks almost all the way down the ramp. Face in the camera, the shirt face.
Freaking love it,
Look
man.
at this motherfucking dog. Dog, I thought that shit was fucking
You say there's
dope.
two of me?
Yeah.
There's two of me.
Again, like, yo, you were having the fucking time of your life. That's what I love about it, bro. Every fucking time you hit that fucking entrance, you were just having fun. I love that about it.
Like,
And
it
then
almost
you
seems
get
like
bored
that was
for you at
DNA.
once. Yeah.
Yeah, Big Clyde, you're right.
That was the real NWO music, you know?
Because whenever they hit that music, and you know you got to boo because you either see Scott Steiner walk out with Buff, right? Or you see fucking Virgil, or you see fucking Hogan come out. You know when Hogan come out, cups getting thrown. Because people are shittier than a bitch, especially if Buff come out with Hogan.
I was always hanging right on Hogan's shoulder because I knew the camera was on him.
I remember that one when you came out, man. It was like y'all poured out of the back. It was like this. Y'all were addressing the crowd, and when they had music hit, you were the first one out when Hogan came out, and it was like people were so fucking mad, man, because they couldn't deny it. Right? It was too good, so people were pissed, man. So like, let me ask you this. What would you expect? Like, say AEW did bring you on. What would you expect from them? Like, is it a money thing? Is it more of just getting back into the fold and like the fandom and all that stuff? Like, what would you expect if they did bring you an offer?
I'd actually come back and let me come back for a couple weeks and not even pay me. Just
wow.
Let me come
Just
in
wanted to help the talent.
Just let me come in for 2 weeks, and y'all do what you want to do after that 2 weeks. If you want me to go home, I'll go home. If you want to hire me, hire me. Give me 2 weeks to show you that I'm Mark Bagwell again, and I'm professional again. And because I know a lot of those guys that are there, they know Mark. Sting knows Mark.
Yeah,
you know,
I must say, yeah. I know Sting will vouch for you like crazy.
For sure. Yeah. Because Jericho knows Marcus. And so, there's there enough people. This Giant loves me. We're great friends. They're Sting. We're great friends. There's a lot of guys there that know me that would give me a chance to at least get over. Get
Arn Anderson probably give you a chance too. He'd be like, "Yo, get this man."
Arn Anderson. Yeah, I can see Arn Anderson saying, "Yeah, bring this man in."
Dude,
Come on, man.
It would be badass if you came in and let's say you turned on like let's say we had like a crazy stare down, you and Sting. Everybody's like, "Oh my god!" They return. They like it was that reunion, and you just turn on Sting, do a strike the pulse.
Yeah, and they just been like,
Or we do the stare down, and then we do the.
Hell
There you
yeah!
go. There
do
you
the
go.
Man, the crowd will fucking erupt because you know what that
We did
is.
it. Too sweet.
That means we got some NWO flavor in AEW. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Like there is.
Buff Bagwell's over there sprinkling the NWO spice on us.
And so you
Exactly,
know
just sprinkle it a little bit.
You know it's gonna
But
go
no,
down
like,
because I think the
with
crowd
your,
would
you
go
know,
crazy if you stepped out of it.
Oh
Just
my-
hell
if
yeah.
you stepped out and that music hit and it was Buff Daddy. It's like what the fuck? Like
Guys, man, I got to get up early, bro. Man,
Yes.
yeah, I was getting ready to
Dude,
because we're at the tail
honor.
end now. But like honestly, man, Buff. Thank you so
Man.
much, man, for coming on the show. You are a
Absolutely.
legend. Don't let anybody tell you less. You are the stuff. And chat, you know what I'm saying?
Let's see it. Oh,
I got one quick question, and you can answer real quick.
Oh, but let me say this before you ask that question. Like I said earlier, man, I'm happy that you didn't let none of this negativity affect you as a person. You took that, you elevated it, you took your ball, you ran home with it, and guess what? You're in a better shape than you ever been mentally and just physically. And I'm very happy for you. And when I tell you that WCW is a big part of my life, WW, you know, everything from the early days.
Same.
I appreciate everything that you've done for us as kids, as
Appreciate
we grow up and we carry that and we look at, unfortunately, what we have in WWE, but we have a bright future with AEW, and I see better things there, and that's why I want to see you eventually make your way towards AEW. But when I tell you I love you, man, I appreciate this.
Yes.
This is a treat, an absolute pleasure to see you, and seriously, man. Awesome dude, man. I really do appreciate you taking the time and blessing us with your awesome presence. So thank you.
And remember, bro, I'm buff. I'm the stuff. Girls just can't get enough.
There it is. Check out Buff Bagwell on Rebuild.
All right.
My
last question.
Yes.
This is a funny question. David, he's the one with the NWO logo down there on the cam. He's been training, and he used to be a wrestler. Would you wrestle him if he gave you the chance?
Absolutely.
There you go.
Hey, listen, I'm not trying to lose to Buff Bagwell. You know what I'm saying?
Put him over.
hey, Buff, you Buff. You use him as enhancement talent.
All right, like I said, rebuilding Buff. Check out Buff Bagwell.
WWE A4 World Wrestling Alliance over here in Atlanta. I actually went down there because I actually wanted to do that when I was in high school still, and I went down there and visit that. And I can only imagine what was going through your mind when you actually got to the main stage and you saw how big the actual set is for that for the show.
Right.
So I'm just happy that you even though you hit the low but not being able to stay, you at least went out on your biggest high, and that was the awesome memory of WCW. So
yeah, hell yeah.
Check out Buff. Yes.
Guys went the full 11 years at WCW, and that was stinging me.
Yep, true.
Yep.
Facts. Check
There you
out
go.
Buff Bagwell Rebuilding Buff on YouTube, just like that. You can follow him on Twitter at Mark Buff Bagwell. Make sure you follow him on Twitter, please. You can also You can also check out his future OnlyFans. He was. But no.
Look how he brainstormed with the hat on. He was like, you know what? I might do that shit.
but no, check out Buff Bagwell. Make sure you absolutely give him all the love because he's coming back and it's super fucking exciting and I can't wait. I just want to see that shit. So I cannot wait. Shouts out to the panel, Dave D, Big Mike, Big Cloud. Shouts out to chat. You already know we love everybody. We love Buff Bagwell. And check us out next week, 10 o'clock p.m. for the Wrestle Chat Champions. And one more thing. WrestleCade. Check out Buff Bagwell. They're doing a reunion. The American males are doing a reunion. Yeah, so look, American males. So make sure you check that shit out at WrestleCade 2022. A decade of mayhem. And yeah, we love you all. We can't do this shit without you. And we will holler at y'all later. Peace.
Let me separate.